Most people think they're healing, but in reality, they're just decorating their cage. They read the books, they talk the language, they share the quotes, but nothing in their life actually changes. And here's why this matters. As you step into your own transformation, you are going to see this everywhere. You'll see it in the people around you, you'll see it in conversations with friends, colleagues, maybe even in yourself. And if you don't learn to discern the difference between knowledge and growth, you'll waste years giving people the benefit of the doubt, thinking they're on the path, when really they're just standing at the entrance talking about the path. Hi, I'm Marina Popper, founder of the AP Method, and if you're ready to do life, love, and success in a way that actually gets you results, then this video and this channel is for you. And before we dive right in, I want to ask you a small favor. Download your free core values workbook using the link below, because your values are the foundations of your transformation. And while you're here, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It helps me help more people by getting this content out there, and your comment could be the very thing that helps someone else today. Now, neuroscience has shown that your brain rewires through repetition and action, not through information. Dr. Ronald Hebb put it simply: neurons that fire together wire together. Translation: you don't change your brain by reading about change. You change it by doing something different again and again and again until your nervous system accepts the new pattern as normal. So, when you meet someone who can talk endlessly about self-awareness, but their life looks like chaos, what you're seeing is the gap between knowledge and embodiment. And that gap is dangerous because it creates the illusion of progress. It feels like growth, but it's just vocabulary. It's like buying gym clothes and taking selfies in the mirror, but never actually lifting the weights. Or like buying every cookbook in the store, but never stepping into the kitchen. You know the recipes by heart, but you're still hungry. And here's where it all becomes a little bit risky. If you're not careful, you'll get pulled into other people's illusions. You'll start believing words over actions. And your nervous system, which is constantly scanning your environment, will adapt to tolerate the gap between what people say and how they live. Now, that tolerance erodes your discernment. And without discernment, transformation is impossible. Now, think about the times you've met someone who can name every attachment style, quote Carl Jung, and talk about their inner work like they have a PhD in psychology, but under pressure, they treat people badly. They talk about accountability, but they never take it. They talk about emotional regulation, but they explode the moment they're challenged. Now, they talk about compassion, but they gossip about everyone behind their backs. And if you're someone who naturally gives people the benefit of the doubt, you might excuse this. You might say, nobody's perfect, they're trying, at least they know about it. But here's the truth. Knowing isn't trying. Knowing isn't healing. And awareness is just the doorway. Now, walking through it is a choice, and not everyone makes that choice. This isn't just philosophy. Your brain has what's called a default mode network, the wiring that runs when you're on autopilot. Most people live 95% of their day in this autopilot state. That means they're not consciously choosing their responses, they're replaying old ones. Now, neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to rewire, is triggered by novelty and repetition. Do something new and your brain pays attention. Repeat it enough and your brain locks it in as normal. Knowledge doesn't trigger novelty, action does. And here's the kicker. Your brain actively resists change at first. Prediction error, which is the gap between what your brain expects and what actually happens, this feels uncomfortable. That's why trying something new often feels wrong, even when it's right for you. It's your brain clinging to the old pattern. But if you lean into that discomfort and repeat the new action, the brain slowly updates the prediction. This is why embodiment feels awkward at first, but freeing later. This is why habit loops matter. Habits live in the basal ganglia, the part of the brain designed to save energy by automating repeated behaviors. You can't outthink a habit, you have to outpractice it. So reading about healthy eating doesn't break the habit of late night snacking. Only new actions repeated until they become automatic will actually rewire that loop. And the same goes for emotional patterns. It's like reading about swimming. You can memorize buoyancy, breathing techniques, muscle contractions, but if I throw you in the pool and you've never swum before, you'll sink because your nervous system hasn't embodied the skill. Psychology explains this too. Leon Festinger's theory of cognitive dissonance shows us that when people know one thing but act in another way, the brain will twist the story to reduce discomfort. So, instead of changing behavior, they change the narrative. It wasn't really my fault, or they're too sensitive, or it's not that serious. Knowledge becomes the perfect shield for avoidance. And don't forget social contagion. Research proves behaviors spread through networks. Your brain copies the people around you. So if you're surrounded by people who talk about growth but live in dysfunction, your brain learns to tolerate that split. It starts believing that double standard is normal. And that's why discernment isn't just a nice idea, it's actually survival. When you commit to embodiment, when you choose to not just learn but live, you become unshakable. You become the person who doesn't just sound self-aware but actually is self-aware. And the world feels it because embodiment is magnetic, it's rare, and it's powerful. And I'm going to pause right here. If this resonates with you, don't forget to like this video and subscribe so you don't miss future videos from me. You can also download your free core values workbook right now. It will land in your inbox within seconds, and if you're ready to go further, join the Freedom Challenge. It's a free 5-day experience with me where we practice these exact tools together. The links are all in the description, and I would love to have you inside the challenge. Now, let's get practical. The first tool is the behavior check. Forget the words, just look at the evidence. What does this person do under stress? How do they treat others when nobody's watching? Now, words are promises. Behavior is the proof. So here's a journaling prompt. Who in your life talks a lot about change? Write down 3 of their actions that either prove or disprove that change. What patterns do you see? And here's a little bonus. Where do you find yourself excusing behavior that doesn't match words? And what's the cost to your energy? The second tool is the nervous system compass. Your body doesn't lie. Notice how you feel after being with someone. Do you feel calm, clear, energized? Or do you feel drained, confused, and anxious? That's your nervous system giving you the truth. Now, journaling prompts for you. Recall the last time you felt unsettled after being with someone. What did your body tell you that your mind tried to override? Now, where else in your life does that pattern show up? And here's the other bonus. Who in your life consistently leaves you feeling lighter? And what does that tell you about who belongs closer to you? Now, the third is the embodiment mirror. Before you get critical of others, turn the mirror on yourself. Where are you doing the same thing? Where are you talking about growth but not living it? Catching yourself in the act builds integrity. And journaling prompt for you, what's one area where you know the right thing but you haven't embodied it yet? What one action can you take today to close that gap? And how will you hold yourself accountable this week? Bonus, if someone's watched you for a month, what would your actions teach them about your values? And the second bonus is imagine yourself a year from now living that change fully. What's different about how people experience you? And here's what's going to happen as you grow. You'll start seeing these gaps everywhere. Now, don't panic, don't get disillusioned. See it as proof that your own awareness is expanding. At first, it's uncomfortable, like you can't unsee the code behind the matrix. But over time, this discernment becomes freedom because you stop wasting energy on words and start trusting behavior. I once knew someone who could recite whole passages of Eckhart Tolle's The Power of Now. I mean, word for word. It was like having the audiobook sitting across the table. But every time something went wrong, they would absolutely lose their mind, yelling, pacing, swearing. And that's when I realized you can quote presence or you can live presence. One rewires your brain and the other just sounds impressive at dinner parties. So here's your reminder before we close. Download your free core values workbook. It's linked below. It will give you an inner compass that keeps you steady when other people's words don't match their actions. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the next videos in this series. And if you're ready to take your transformation further, join the Freedom Challenge. It's completely free. It's launching very soon, and it's 5 days to practice everything we talk about on this channel. I cannot wait to see you there. And just remember, you are not here to just talk about transformation. You are here to live it and embody it. Thank you so much for being here. Thanks for watching and for listening, and I can't wait to see you in the next one. Bye for now.